John, let's widen this out into kind of wider politics and history of by-elections. My pet theory at the moment is that we in the media take the results of these by-elections and maybe make too much of a big deal out of them in terms of what they mean about the big picture. And I think maybe some politicians do that as well. Do you think sometimes we exaggerate the significance of by-elections? Maybe just because we political journalists kind of enjoy them so much.
Sure, there is that tendency on occasion, and certainly the crucial thing you have to do if you're going to try to draw them out into a wider picture is to compare by-elections with by-elections, and not necessarily compare by-elections with opinion polls, let alone the result of general elections. Now, the reason why the by-elections that took place in the second half of last year, which had remarkable swings to Labour, have been of interest, is that the last time that we saw opinion polls of that kind of swing to Labour was in the 1992 to 97 Parliament, which of course is also an occasion when Labour was way ahead in the national polls, and it didn't all end terribly happily for the Conservative Party. Now, but first thing to say, I always say, well, by-elections may tell you something about the big picture now. They don't necessarily tell you where the big picture is going to be in 10 months' time. But I think one can regard the evidence of what happened in Tamworth, in Mid-Bedfordshire and Selby as evidence consistent with those of the opinion polls and indeed of the local elections last May, that the Conservative Party, currently at least, are in big trouble. And because we now have two by-elections this coming Thursday, one in Kingswood in South Gloucestershire, the other in Wellingborough, Northamptonshire, which both of whom would go to Labour on swings of the kind that were recorded last autumn. Indeed, in Kingswood, it would go with much less than that. You can see why, if indeed particularly Labour win Wellingborough,